Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Tuesday, October 28th, Victor's new deal, Jack's cryptic message, Adam vs. Billy. Want more of The Young and the Restless? Get updates on the latest news about The Young and the Restless, straight to your inbox. Phyllis Summers' proposition. Let's start off with Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford. Despite Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian, being freaked out over that text message, the redhead will continue her risky plan. Phyllis hasn't really had anything or anyone in a while, so this is an all-or-nothing situation. Under normal circumstances, Danny might mention it to Christine Blair, Laura Lee Bell, but it's too close to the wedding. The Young and the Restless, Phyllis Summers' proposition, a dangerous deal that could change everything in Genoa City. Secrets and schemes never sleep, and no one knows that better than Phyllis Summers. The fiery redhead has built her life on taking chances, making bold moves, and walking the fine line between brilliance and self-destruction. But her latest proposition, whispered in the dark corners of the Grand Phoenix and hinted at through hushed conversations, might just be her most daring gamble yet. And if it goes wrong, it could destroy not just her future, but the lives of those closest to her. Phyllis has always thrived on control, but lately, the world around her has been spiraling out of it. Her children, Daniel and Summer, have been struggling with their own complicated lives, Daniel's tangled love triangle and Summer's disillusionment with her family's endless power struggles. Meanwhile, Phyllis has found herself once again on the outside looking in. Her reputation is bruised, her alliances fractured, and her trust in herself, shaken. But in true Phyllis fashion, she refuses to fade quietly into the background. She's got a plan. And this time, it's personal. Rumors in Genoa City suggest that Phyllis's proposition involves none other than Tucker McCall, the city's most unpredictable businessman. Tucker's been circling around power like a shark, looking for the next big opportunity to sink his teeth into. And Phyllis, with her insider knowledge and keen business sense, might be just the partner he needs. But when these two schemers come together, it's less about partnership and more about manipulation. Phyllis isn't just proposing a business deal, she's proposing revenge. After years of being underestimated, used, and dismissed, Phyllis wants to reclaim her place among Genoa City's elite. And to do that, she's willing to get her hands dirty. Word around town is that Phyllis has her eye on Chancellor Winters. With Devon and Billy distracted by internal conflicts and Jill managing from afar, there's a window of opportunity for someone clever, and ruthless, to make a move. Tucker has been trying to get his foot in the door for months, but with Phyllis's tech expertise and her connections, the pair could pull off something shocking. However, not everyone is buying Phyllis's sudden shift toward collaboration. Summer, still reeling from her mother's past betrayals, fears Phyllis might be slipping back into her old ways. Daniel, trying to rebuild his own career and relationships, worries that his mom's deal-making will lead her straight into another disaster. They've both seen how far Phyllis will go when she feels cornered, and it rarely ends well. But Phyllis is determined to prove them wrong this time. To her, this proposition isn't about greed or vengeance, it's about survival. She's tired of being the woman people whisper about in judgmental tones. She wants respect, redemption, and yes, maybe a little bit of revenge on those who've written her off. But here's the twist, Tucker isn't the only man in her orbit. Jack Abbott, her on-again, off-again love, has been keeping a close eye on Phyllis's moves. He's torn between concern and admiration. He's seen her at her best and her worst, and deep down, he still believes there's good in her. But Jack also knows that when Phyllis starts, please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Making secret deals, disaster isn't far behind. What happens when Jack learns the truth about her new alliance? Will he step in to protect her, or cut her off completely? Meanwhile, Diane Jenkins, never one to miss an opportunity to gloat, could use this against Phyllis in a heartbeat. Their rivalry has spanned decades, and now that Diane is back in Jack's life, Phyllis knows that one wrong move could give her enemy all the ammunition she needs. If Diane exposes Phyllis's deal with Tucker, the fallout could be catastrophic. But Phyllis isn't the type to back down. In fact, the threat only fuels her determination. She knows how to play the long game, and this time, she intends to come out on top. Her proposition, sources say, might even involve using Tucker's resources to take control of a tech division, one that could rival Newman Media or Chancellor Winters. Imagine it, Phyllis Summers, CEO of her own empire again, finally holding the cards instead of being played. But success in Genoa City always comes at a price. As Phyllis and Tucker grow closer, the line between business and pleasure begins to blur. Could Tucker actually be developing real feelings for Phyllis? And if so, is she ready to trust again, or is she simply using his affection to get what she wants? Those who know Phyllis best would say it's the latter, but this time, there's a flicker of vulnerability behind her sharp smile. Maybe, just maybe, she's tired of being the lone wolf. Then again, vulnerability in this town can get you burned. As their secret meetings continue, eyes start to turn. Ashley Abbott, who still has unfinished business with Tucker, begins to suspect that Phyllis is being used. She confronts her, warning that Tucker's loyalty has always been to himself. But Phyllis, with her trademark sass and stubborn pride, insists she knows exactly what she's doing. You of all people should know what it's like to want control, she snaps back, leaving Ashley both annoyed and intrigued. The real danger, however, lies beneath the surface. Because unbeknownst to Phyllis, Tucker might be playing a deeper game, one that involves Devon's empire, Audra's manipulation, and a trail of deceit that could entangle everyone in its web. If Phyllis doesn't see the trap soon enough, her proposition could end in ruin. Yet, there's please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Another possibility, one that only Phyllis could pull off. What if she's the one playing Tucker? What if this entire partnership is a setup to expose him and reclaim her power in one stunning move? It wouldn't be the first time Phyllis turned a losing hand into a royal flush. The woman's a survivor through and through, and Genoa City has learned. Underestimate Phyllis Summers at your own peril. But time is running out. With the walls closing in and old enemies circling, Phyllis's proposition could soon explode into one of the most scandalous showdowns Genoa City has ever seen. And when the dust settles, lives will be changed forever. Will Phyllis rise from the ashes once again, triumphant and unbreakable? Or will this latest gamble finally push her too far? One thing is certain, when Phyllis Summers makes a proposition, no one in Genoa City comes out untouched. As whispers of betrayal, ambition, and forbidden alliances ripple through the town, all eyes are on the redhead with the sharp smile and sharper instincts. Whether it's business, love, or revenge, Phyllis is about to remind everyone exactly who she is. The Queen of Chaos. The Master of Reinvention. The woman who never quits, no matter how many times she's knocked down. And as her latest proposition unfolds, fans can only sit back and watch the fireworks, because in Genoa City, when Phyllis Summers makes her move, the whole world feels it. The Young and the Restless, Phyllis Summers' proposition. In Genoa City, there's always a deal being made, a secret being whispered, and a heart being broken. But when Phyllis Summers starts plotting, it's never just another scheme, it's a declaration of war. Her latest proposition, one that's already sending shockwaves through the city's power players, could either crown her queen again or leave her with nothing but ashes. Phyllis has always been a force of nature, sharp, ambitious, and utterly unafraid to bend the rules when she believes she's right. Yet, after everything she's lost, her reputation, her relationships, and at times her sense of self, she's standing at a crossroads once more. To some, her new plan looks like a comeback. To others, it looks like the same old Phyllis, ready to burn bridges if it means winning. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. The proposition is rumored to involve none other than Tucker McCall. Tucker, the charming yet dangerously unpredictable businessman, has a way of bringing out the most daring sides of those around him. For Phyllis, he's both an opportunity and a risk. Together, they could take on Genoa City's most powerful, Jack Abbott, the Newmans, even Chancellor Winters itself. But Tucker doesn't do anything without an angle, and Phyllis knows that better than anyone. She's been played before, and she's vowed never to let it happen again. Still, Tucker's allure is hard to ignore. There's a spark between them, the kind that's part chemistry and part danger. It's a dangerous cocktail, one that could end in fireworks or flames. Phyllis insists she's in control, that she's using Tucker's resources to launch a new venture that will prove her brilliance once and for all. But those closest to her, Daniel and Summer, see warning signs flashing everywhere. Daniel, still recovering from his own emotional chaos, fears his mother is diving headfirst into trouble again. Summer, torn between love and exasperation, wants to believe Phyllis has finally learned from her mistakes. But how do you stop a woman who sees every risk as a challenge and every betrayal as motivation? Jack Abbott, for his part, can't help but watch from the sidelines. Part of him still cares deeply for Phyllis, maybe always will, but he's also been burned by her too many times to let his guard down. Diane Jenkins, never one to waste an opportunity, would love nothing more than to see Phyllis crash and burn again. And if Phyllis's plan with Tucker crosses any ethical or legal lines, Diane won't hesitate to expose her. Yet Phyllis has always been at her best when cornered. There's a rumor she's not just helping Tucker, she's setting him up. Maybe this proposition isn't about business at all, but revenge. After all, Tucker has wronged plenty of people in Genoa City, and Phyllis knows exactly how to pull the strings when she needs to. But Tucker is no fool, and Phyllis might not be the only one playing a double game. There's talk of Tucker trying to infiltrate Chancellor Winters again, this time using Phyllis's technical genius as his key. If he succeeds, he could regain control of the company he lost, and leave Phyllis holding the blame. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. So which one is really in charge? Is Phyllis the puppet master or the pawn? Her every move now carries consequences. If she pulls this off, she could rebuild her career, regain her dignity, and silence every critic who's ever doubted her. But if she miscalculates, she could lose Daniel, Summer, and any chance of redemption she's fought for since faking her death. Still, Phyllis Summers has never been one to back down. She thrives in chaos. It fuels her, drives her, and defines her. And as she tells Tucker one late night over drinks, "I've rebuilt my life before. The difference is, this time, I'm not stopping at survival." Those words might become prophetic. Because once Phyllis makes her move, nothing in Genoa City will stay the same. Whether her proposition turns into a victory or a catastrophe, one thing is certain, Phyllis Summers is back in the game. And when she plays, everyone else better watch their backs. Victor Newman's surprising deal. At the Newman Ranch, Phyllis will show up to talk to Victor. The patriarch will wonder what the annoying redhead will have to say. However, his eyes and ears perk up real quick when Phyllis mentions stealing the AI program. Phyllis put it in Kane Ashby's, Billy Flynn, head that Victor must have stolen it. Now Phyllis is going to pressure Victor into making a deal with her. In her mind, it will give her everything she's always wanted. However, money is pretty useless if you have nobody in your life to share it with. At least, that is what the soaps have taught us. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Victor will make an unexpected deal. However, Phyllis and Victor are both opportunists and manipulators. So, let's see if either of them can honor the terms of the deal. Victor Newman's surprising deal. In the unpredictable world of the young and the restless, Victor Newman remains the one man no one can ever fully read. Just when everyone thinks they've got him figured out, he makes a move that shocks even his closest allies, and this time, it's no different. Rumors are swirling through Genoa City that Victor has struck a deal so unexpected, it could shift the entire Newman family dynamic and reshape power in ways no one saw coming. The mustache has built his empire on loyalty, strategy, and manipulation, but this latest twist might reveal a more personal agenda than anyone could have imagined. Sources say Victor's new arrangement involves someone no one thought he'd ever align with, and fans are buzzing about what this could mean for his family, his enemies, and the legacy he spent decades protecting. To understand the weight of Victor's decision, one must first revisit what led him here. Over the past few months, the Newman patriarch has been quietly watching his empire begin to fracture. Nick has grown increasingly distant, tired of his father's controlling ways. Victoria, once his most loyal soldier, has made questionable decisions that have cost Newman Enterprises dearly. Adam has been bouncing between redemption and revenge, while Nikki's struggles have left Victor fighting to keep his family grounded. All of this has created cracks in the mighty Newman Foundation, cracks that Victor knows his enemies would love to exploit. Enter the surprising deal. Whispers suggest that Victor may have joined forces with an unexpected ally, possibly someone from a rival family. Could it be Jack Abbott, his longtime nemesis? The two men have a rivalry steeped in betrayal, corporate warfare, and personal vendettas, yet they share a deep understanding of what it means to be at the top. Or could Victor be extending a hand to someone even more shocking, like Tucker McCall, a man known for playing dirty and taking bold risks? A partnership between those two titans would send tremors through Genoa City. However, there's another possibility, one that could strike directly at the heart of the Newman legacy. Some believe Victor's new deal has less to do with business and more to do with family. A cryptic conversation overheard at Society hinted that Victor might be trying to protect someone, perhaps one of his children, from a devastating scandal or legal fallout. If true, this wouldn't be the first time Victor has used his power to shield those he loves. But this time, it may come with a price that could haunt him forever. Fans who've please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Watched Victor's evolution over the decades know that every move he makes is a calculated step in a long-term strategy. He's not impulsive, he's precise. Even his most shocking alliances are rooted in foresight. But this deal feels different. There's a weight behind it, as if Victor knows something the rest of Genoa City doesn't. Perhaps there's a looming threat, a hostile takeover, a buried secret, or even a betrayal within his own family, that's pushed him to act before it's too late. One name that keeps surfacing in connection with this situation is Claire Grace. Since her arrival, Claire has been trying to carve out a place within the Newman world, but her past has made trust difficult. Despite Nikki's initial attempts to bond with her, the tension between Claire and Victoria has been growing. What if Victor's surprising deal involves protecting Claire or using her as a pawn to restore stability within the Newman dynasty? It wouldn't be out of character for Victor to make a deal to protect one grandchild while manipulating others in the process. Meanwhile, speculation is mounting that the deal might not be purely business or family-related, it could be political. A quiet rumor suggests Victor may be backing a major development project tied to Newman Media and Chancellor Winters, one that could consolidate massive power and resources under his control. If that's true, it could explain his recent mysterious meetings and the sudden appearance of legal advisors around Newman Towers. The air of secrecy is thick, even for Victor. The most surprising element of this unfolding story might be the identity of the person Victor's negotiating with. Some insiders claim he's been seen in private meetings with none other than Phyllis Summers. Yes, that Phyllis, the fiery redhead who's been both ally and adversary to nearly everyone in Genoa City. Phyllis has recently found herself on the outside looking in, desperate for a second chance at relevance. If she's struck a deal with Victor, the implications are enormous. Phyllis could help Victor in ways others can't. Her knowledge of tech, her ability to manipulate, and her unpredictability could make her the perfect partner in his latest scheme. Of course, no deal with Victor Newman comes without strings attached. Whether it's Phyllis, Jack, Tucker, or even Adam who's part of the equation, Victor always ensures that he comes out on top. But what if, for once, he's not the one pulling all the strings? Some fans believe Victor might actually be forced into this alliance, perhaps due to blackmail or a hidden vulnerability. Could someone have discovered one of his darkest secrets? Could there be something in his past, or even a cover-up involving Newman Enterprises, that's now being used against him? The idea that Victor Newman could be cornered is almost unthinkable, yet it would explain the strange tension in recent scenes, where Victor has seemed more introspective than usual. Nikki's growing concern for her husband hasn't gone unnoticed either. She senses something's off, and while she's no stranger to Victor's secretive ways, this time feels more dangerous. If the deal involves Keepy, please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Ing Nikki safe, or cleaning up after someone else's mistake, then the stakes are deeply personal. One can't help but recall the many times Victor has sacrificed his own happiness for his family's protection. He's lied, schemed, and manipulated his own children, all in the name of love. But this latest move feels like it could backfire spectacularly. As tensions build, it's clear that this surprising deal could set off a chain reaction. Nick's moral compass could clash with Victor's ruthlessness. Victoria might see this as another power grab, reigniting their battle over Newman Enterprises. Adam could see an opportunity to exploit the chaos, and Nate might insert himself into the equation for his own gain. Meanwhile, outside the Newman family, other Genoa City power players are bound to react. Jack Abbott won't stand idly by if Victor's move threatens Jabot. Tucker will surely see it as an opening for his own ambitions. Even Devon and Lily could find themselves caught in the crossfire if Newman and Chancellor Winters become entangled. For decades, Victor has prided himself on being the man who always wins. But as this new storyline unfolds, it feels like the tide may be turning. Perhaps this is less about conquest and more about redemption. Could it be that Victor, after years of manipulation, is finally trying to make amends, perhaps righting an old wrong by giving someone a chance to rise, even at his own expense? Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. NSE. Imagine the shock if Victor's deal turns out to be a selfless act. Fans would hardly believe it, but that's precisely why it would be such a powerful twist. After all, the best Y&R moments come when even the most calculating characters reveal their humanity. Whether this deal ends in triumph or tragedy, one thing's for sure, it will leave Genoa City forever changed. Every character, from the Newmans to the Abbotts to the McCalls, will feel the ripple effects of Victor's decision. And as always, in true Victor Newman fashion, he'll make sure that whatever happens next was part of his plan all along. Still, there's a glimmer of uncertainty that even Victor himself might not see coming. When you've spent a lifetime controlling everyone around you, what happens when the one deal you make could destroy the very foundation you've built? For now, all eyes are on the mustache, waiting for him to reveal his cards. But if history has taught us anything, it's this: never underestimate Victor Newman. He may appear to be making a compromise, but in reality, he's likely setting the stage for his greatest victory yet, or perhaps, his most shocking downfall. Either way, this deal will go down as one of the most unforgettable turning points in the Young and the Restless history. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Jack Abbott's cryptic message. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, October 28 reveal that Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, will receive a cryptic message. We know from a weekly preview clip that Kane tries to urgently warn Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott, Susan Walters. However, they are unsure whether to trust Kane. The Young and the Restless fans are buzzing with speculation after Jack Abbott, one of Genoa City's most enigmatic figures, dropped a cryptic message that has everyone questioning his next move. Jack, a man whose life has always been a complicated blend of family loyalty, business ambition, and personal heartbreak, has never been one to reveal all his cards, but this latest communication feels different. It's not just business as usual, there's an edge of urgency, a hint of foreboding, and an unmistakable air of secrecy that has set the community and viewers alike on high alert. Those close to the Abbott family say that Jack has been acting unusually introspective in recent weeks, retreating to the shadows of Newman Enterprises and quietly observing the power shifts around him. His cryptic message, delivered through a combination of social media posts and offhand comments at private gatherings, hints at a revelation that could shake Genoa City to its core. It's not just a message, it's a warning, a puzzle, a test of who can read between the lines, please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Jack's history in Genoa City has always been intertwined with strategic thinking and calculated risk. He has built a reputation not only as a shrewd businessman but as someone who understands the delicate balance of power among the city's most influential families. Yet this new message feels personal, almost as if it comes from a place of vulnerability that few have witnessed. Sources close to the family suggest that Jack has been grappling with questions of trust, loyalty, and the future of the Abbott empire. He is acutely aware of the constant undercurrents of betrayal, especially as rivals both old and new watch his every move. What makes this particular message so riveting is the ambiguity. Jack has offered no context, no clues as to whom it is directed at or what it truly entails, leaving fans to parse every word, every nuance, every pause for meaning. The content of Jack's message has sparked speculation on multiple fronts. Some believe it signals a dramatic business maneuver, perhaps a hostile takeover or a strategic partnership that could alter the balance at Newman Enterprises. Others interpret it as a personal declaration, possibly tied to lingering family secrets or unresolved tensions with his brothers-in-law, and the ever-complicated Newman family. Genoa City watchers have pointed out that Jack has a history of making moves that appear inscrutable at first but are later revealed to be masterstrokes of foresight and cunning. If this message is any indication, it could herald a game-changing development for the Abbotts and their rivals alike. Fans on social media are dissecting Jack's words with almost surgical precision, examining every punctuation mark, every timing of the post, and even the platforms he chose to deliver his thoughts. Some have noticed that Jack's cryptic phrasing contains what appear to be deliberate double meanings, possibly hinting at events that will unfold in the coming weeks. The intrigue has reignited interest in Jack's long-standing rivalries, including the perennial tension with Victor Newman, the subtle maneuverings involving Adam Newman, and the ever-present drama surrounding Ashley and Billy Abbott. Every character in Genoa City is suddenly a potential player in Jack's next move, and viewers are left to wonder whether this is a warning, a challenge, or something far more personal and dangerous. Behind closed doors, Jack has been conferring with a select few allies, though he remains notoriously private about his intentions. Rumors have swirled that he may be planning a bold maneuver, one that could either solidify his power or leave him dangerously exposed. Some insiders hint at secret meetings in unexpected locations. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Confidential documents exchanged under the radar, and phone calls that end abruptly, leaving both parties unsettled. Jack Abbott, for all his outward confidence, seems to be navigating a labyrinth of deception and hidden agendas, and his cryptic message could be the key to understanding his next steps. The implications of Jack's message are far-reaching. Beyond the immediate business and family stakes, there's a palpable sense of suspense among Genoa City's residents and Y&R fans alike. What secrets is Jack holding? Who stands to gain, or lose, from his next move? And perhaps most importantly, what does this mean for the fragile alliances that have been forming across the city's social and corporate landscape? The answers remain shrouded in mystery, but one thing is clear: Jack Abbott's cryptic message is more than a fleeting curiosity. It's a signal that the game is changing, that power dynamics are shifting, and that viewers should brace themselves for drama, deception, and revelations that could reshape Genoa City in ways no one saw coming. While speculation abounds, some have suggested that Jack's message could be connected to a personal reckoning, perhaps involving a long-buried family secret or a confrontation that has been simmering for years. Jack has always been a man of complex emotions, often masking deep vulnerability behind a veneer of sharp wit and strategic genius. This message could be his way of testing the waters, gauging reactions, and setting the stage for a revelation that only he could orchestrate. Whether it signals a reconciliation, a calculated betrayal, or a shocking announcement, the tension surrounding Jack's cryptic words is unmistakable and impossible to ignore. Even longtime Y&R viewers who thought they had Jack Abbott figured out are now questioning everything. His unpredictability, once considered a hallmark of his character, now feels more potent than ever. Fans are eagerly awaiting the fallout, theorizing about hidden messages, possible alliances, and the potential consequences for everyone in Jack's orbit. One thing is certain: Genoa City has entered a period of suspense and uncertainty, and Jack Abbott sits at the center of it all, a master of intrigue whose next move could change the game forever. As the days unfold, every word, every glance, and every interaction will be scrutinized for hints. Jack Abbott's cryptic message has created a ripple effect, drawing even the most peripheral characters into its orbit. From corporate boardrooms to family dinners, whispers of Jack's intentions are everywhere, and the tension is palpable. No one knows exactly what Jack is planning, and perhaps that is exactly what he wants. In a city built on secrets, lies, and shifting loyalties, Jack Abbott remains a figure both admired and feared, and this latest twist in his story promises drama, suspense, and shocking revelations that will keep viewers on the edge of their seats for weeks to come. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Tuesday, October 28, 2025. Fans will also see Adam face off with Billy. When the two men get fierce, Billy suddenly punches Adam right in the face. When Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, walks in, she gives Billy a horrified look, then sees Adam on the floor. What is this? However, this might not be all on Billy. Adam is very good at getting under people's skin, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Tuesday, October 28, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing.